And kind of running off David Graham's show a little just before us, they spent a large portion of the end of the show talking about interest rates. And obviously interest rates have a compelling impact on what's going on in our market because if interest rates rise or if they drop, it can change home buyer motivation, it can change affordability. And we've talked about this a lot on the show about how important interest rates are. I talk to my agents on my team about how important they are because sometimes consumers will negotiate on $1,000 or $2,000 and cost themselves 2 or 3 months of finding the right home, and then all of a sudden interest rates are up a quarter point, and they lost money when they thought they were gaining it in the negotiation because of time. George, obviously with FBC Home Loans, you guys are seeing still historically low interest rates, but they really don't have anywhere to go but up.
Right, rates are very, very low. And if they do go up, you could have to change your product. For example, if you're qualified for a conventional loan and rates do tick up and you go over a certain debt-to-income ratio, well, you have to drop back and figure out another game plan. And
Right,
you go
change your affordability.
Right.
And I think the interest rates, so you're right, not only does it change your affordability from a down payment or from a monthly payment standpoint, but it changes the program you're in, and some of the fees are different in the different programs. Higher mortgage insurance, some of those types of things can impact it.
That and underwriting's different.
Harder to get, and I'll tell you, I think the other thing about it that people fail to realize about rising interest rates, especially with a market where home values are increasing. Time is not on your side as a home buyer, unfortunately.
No,
we have it happen where a home buyer will want to cancel a deal on a house they're buying over a couple $1,000s in repairs, thinking that they're going to find a perfect house for $180,000. There's no such thing as a perfect house for $180,000, and you got to set those expectations as an agent that, hey, look, what you're going to find on that inspection report is consistent across this type of this price point. And they'll go back and forth and blow up a deal and say, oh, I'm going to go find another one. Then they'll spend 3 months. They'll find the next house. They'll probably pay a little bit more, stretch their budget a little bit more, which puts them in a tougher financial situation. And not only that, you're going to have appreciation and higher interest rates by the time you find that next house a few months down the line. That's what, I've spoken to my agents about this, and we consult with our consumers all the time that are purchasing or the agents that are representing buyers on the listings of ours. It very rarely makes sense unless it's really, really bad. If you look at the math from a business perspective, forget about the emotion of, oh, I don't want a house with a bad refrigerator or with a roof that's going to need to be replaced in 2 or 3 years. But in reality, if you go back out and shop, spend more for the house and spend more time, it's going to cost you more money than you're likely dealing with in that little minor repair. It's just the time is not on your side as a buyer if you wait. I mean, you should act now. I think that's just pretty much the norm, what we're seeing in the marketplace right now. We see that happen where we'll have a deal go back and forth over a few $1,000s and not get put together, finally get put together, and interest rates went up a quarter point. You didn't save anything. You lost yourself money going back and forth over a few $1,000s on a purchase deal over the rise in interest rates.
Yes, we did.
So specifically because that's going to cost you for a long time, over time. So obviously rates are down a smudge, from the highs. I think 30-year loans slipped at 4.1% from 4.13 according to Freddie Mac. So still really low interest. I mean, that's so cheap. It's just insane to see how low those rates are.
They're giving it away.